Welcome back to the Afro Anime Initiative podcast. Please join us along on this low energy edition because honestly, it's just been a low energy type of day for me. I am your co host, Darren Bradley, along with.
Paulina Guerrier. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? I'm doing okay. I hope you guys are great. Sounds like Darren's. I don't know. What's going on with you, Darren?
Darren, Darren's just going to take it nice, smooth, and easy and silky with an ASMR podcast today. Just don't have the energy to get any louder than this. And shout out real quick to our third member, co-host Mervette. She's feeling a little under the weather and she won't be joining us, but you can catch her and us, of course, on all our social media. Pauline, tell the people where they can find us.
Well, you can find us in various places. First of all, you can find us on our Twitter, which is Afro_AI. You can also find us on our YouTube, which is Afro_AI. Third place you can find us is our Instagram, which is Afro Anime Initiative. One long word. And you will see our logo pop up. You'll see our stuff. And last but not least, Facebook, which is kind of the same as our Instagram, Afro Anime Initiative, but not one long word, 3 words actually. So, yes.
We post there basically on the daily. You'll find stuff in our stories or our news feed. You can always hit us up there, and maybe we might be a couple hours late, maybe a day late, but we'll hit you back. Oh man, so let's just do some quick shout outs first before we get into our main stories. Because today, that kept me going through the week. Fantastic Frankey, she's a YouTuber I discovered, and she posts some really cool, insightful geek commentary and relates them to the social ills that the Black community faces here in America. One of my favorite ones she did was not the one I shared with the group. It was one about her talking about Beast and how Beast is a self-hating mutant and how we have a lot of those self-hating Negroes in the Black community that say they helping, but they really being detrimental and supporting the enemy. I thought that was one of the most fantastic, look, like her name, videos I've seen in a long while. So check her out. Again, her YouTube is Fantastic Frankey, Fantastic. Frankey, Frankey, one word. Another quick shout out is to Black Sands Entertainment. They're an independent comic book company, and right now they are producing some really cool pro cultural works centered around Black and African cultures. Pauline, you checked out their video. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty cool. Just like a whole world of just the type of stories we've always wanted to see ourselves in anyways. So I'm actually I actually went to their website and I'm thinking about getting their bundle.
Nice.
I'm already like $70. Do I have enough for $70?
Yeah. Is that the digital or the hard copy stuff?
I think it's both.
Ooh, that's a good deal.
It is. Yeah, Black Sands DVD plus full series package. It's about $70.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds great. That sounds like a really good price.
So.
Oh man, okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's like, they have animation, like an actual series. They got Cosmic Girls. Cosmic Girls. What is this about? I want to learn about this. I'm gonna be on this page for a minute because this is everything I've ever dreamed
of. And once again, that is Black Sands Entertainment. BlackSandsEntertainment.com. One word. We'll put some links in the description below, guys, for these quick shout outs. And then I want to give one more. Marvette actually suggested this article before she got a little sick. Like I said, send her your well wishes, guys. Kyrie Irving from Bleacher Report donates $1.5 million to support WNBA players who opted out of the 2020 season.
I love that.
I found that's just incredible. I mean, because I understand we all want entertainment. I'm a wrestling fan. Like I haven't stopped watching wrestling not once during this whole thing, and it's been really cool. I've enjoyed it. But these people are risking their lives for entertainment. COVID is real, guys. and they got to be near each other to do these things. And some people just don't want to take that risk. They don't want to risk their health. They want to risk their family's health. And we should be supporting that. And for Kyrie to take 1.5 million of his own personal money to do that, that's just a just a good feel story. Just something good, you know? Yeah, and I'm really glad that Marvet shared that with us to talk about, because I think we don't get a lot of those things. We don't get those just feel good stories. Somebody just doing something out of the kindness of their heart, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Because even though NBA should be covering that, but Kyrie is. And thank you, brother, for supporting those women during their time of need. That's just dope right there.
That's the unity we need to see more of. None of the stupidity that's been happening since January 1st, not even.
Facts. So those are quick shout outs. Let's get into our main topic. And our first main topic is something that Paulina shared with the group, something that sent us all into bouts of joy. Well, the anime fans in the group anyway.
Well, me especially. Shit. Sorry.
Yeah. Cowboy Bebop. No, you're fine. You express your joy. Again, I might be low energy, but you can yell to the heavens. Let's go. Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks in anime history, is on the Spotify, ladies and gentlemen. Go listen.
God damn it, finally.
Yes.
Oh my god, after years.
Go listen.
Holy, okay, let me get into this.
Go ahead, go ahead, get.
Okay, so it's been this weird thing since the anime have been dropped, like back in the late 90s. Of course, it was a big hit. People wouldn't stop talking about it. I personally, my story is that I didn't get into it until maybe mid 2000s. No, until a little bit after high school, which is about 10 years ago. Because I'm the type that too much hype around it, I will stay away from. Honestly, the show has been worth the hype for the last 20 some odd years. 25 or 26 this year.
26, I think 2020, right? So
26 years, yeah. And it's absolutely worth the hype because it is such a good show. It's not overly complex. It's just straightforward. Even filler episodes were fun to watch, and there weren't too many of them. I think there was just like one. And the music was absolutely integral to the story. Like, you can tell Watanabe was just a huge music person. Period. Very much, and it's really cool to see that in just creative works because I come from a very creative family. Like, my dad, he's not a musician per se. He is learning guitar, but he's a huge music buff, like huge. So it just makes me so happy to see someone like this put music in ways that makes the show work. So now acquiring, ways to listen to the music was a whole complex thing for years. And they did have CDs, like separate CDs of different themes, different just songs and stuff like that. Different albums, not just one soundtrack, but just different albums.
Yeah, those albums. Yeah.
And they were released in Japan, but even there it wasn't in it wasn't in great circulation over there. So even if it was minimal over in Japan, imagine just how barely you can even know about it outside of Japan. Trying to get the rights on it, trying to figure out, it was just weird. Like who would be, I think it was like the rights as well as like who was available to put the stuff together and where distribution, just everything wasn't really in one place. It was kind of scattered, and whether or not they actually wanted to release all the music, it was just a whole thing. And, in order for a Cowboy Bebop fan or any music fan really who loved the music to get their hands on this stuff, they would have to pay a pretty penny and really hunt.
And everybody said that was a hunt.
It was even for me. I learned that it was just not many people were able to get even near this stuff. So the fact that Spotify was able to drop all of it on their site, on their streaming service, is a huge deal. Huge.
Hmm.
For me, like, because you would always see like either covers or maybe songs related to Cowboy Bebop and playlists on both Apple and Spotify, but you wouldn't find the actual thing unless you were on Spotify listening to crappy quality. Or there was a website where they had anime MP3s where you can just download them. You can buy them, but sometimes the source wasn't always available. So they had the
Yeah.
MP3 file on the website. I forgot the name of the website, and it was a big thing for anime fans for a very long time. I don't know. I don't even know if it's still up. I think it's called Gendo. I don't remember. Um, so now you have it here, and I learned about this last week. It literally dropped last week, last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. And I was so
Hmm.
excited.
I think you posted that right after we finished recording, a day
Yep,
after we recorded.
because I woke up to that news because I checked my Google News and it's just curated to my interests, and I saw it like while I was getting ready for work. I was like, oh my god. So
Yeah.
before going to work, so that carried me through work. I was so motivated,
Nice.
and I was so excited that um you and I need to have a listening party, Darren. I already did one.
For
I already
sure.
did one with my friends last Sunday. One person was missing, but
Mhm.
yeah, it was just me and my other friend group. I was just like, no, listen, we're doing this. I love this shit. This shit. This is great, and they loved it too.
Nice.
They're like, oh my god, this is great, and they haven't seen the show before, and now they're actually watching it
Mhm.
after the listening party. They're actually watching the
Nice.
show, and they so far so good.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm telling you guys, like some of the songs that came on, I'm like, oh, this is this person's theme. Oh, you'll be excited once you hear the song and the scene happening. I was just so excited, and I drank like I don't know how many glasses of wine too. So it was a great night.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that sounds fun.
after work, it was just a fantastic way to wind down, and it was just like the playlist literally kicks off with the signature tank,
Doom, doom, doom,
and it was just a fun way
doom,
to
doom,
just kick
doom,
off.
doom, 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 doom.
So it was just a fun way to kick off listening to this fantastic soundtrack, and it also included music from the movie. If any of you remember Knocking on Heaven's Door, um,
Oh, that's
yep,
dope.
absolutely. And the cool thing about it is literally, like as I said, all the albums are on there. So this is just a playlist. If you can do like
Yeah.
a little wormhole thing, you will be able to find all of them, both the English and the Japanese versions of them. And I'm not talking about the songs; it's literally all the same songs. There's a weird thing with them that I've noticed, and I pay attention to this stuff. When you see the Japanese distribution of the albums, a couple of songs are missing.
Hmm.
But the English
Mm, hmm.
distribution, all of the songs are on there. It's just the English,
Mm.
like, if you don't know how to look, they'll be hidden. If you don't know how to look. But once you find them, like them and
Gotcha.
share them. Like,
Ye-
so, like,
Yeah.
even me, I recreated that playlist to include some of the songs that were missing. So there would be a complete
Nice.
playlist. But yeah, the music is so
Nice.
cool, and it's very eccentric in a no, sorry, well, it is eccentric technically. A couple songs are just like, whoa, how
Jazz, baby. It's
it's
jazz.
just yeah, so a lot of it's pretty eclectic, but it works because the show is actually pretty eclectic. It's not just jazz, it's not just blues or anything of the sort. It's literally it's even contemporary pop, and it works because that's Cowboy Bebop. It's contemporary work. And my oh my god, there is one song that is my absolute favorite. It's called, I think it's like Ayo Pumpkinhead or something like that, and it was a song from the movie, and it is 100% New Orleans music, like music you literally like would hear in the French Quarter marching down the street, just having fun, like
Yeah, that marching band
marching band.
music.
It is purely that, and I just loved it. And the thing is, it's what taught me so smart. Oh my god. um, because with this particular scene in the movie, this music was used for a festivity. I think it was like Halloween, And apparently on Mars, they celebrate Halloween like a big old, like kind of like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Yeah, like that, but
Hmm.
even bigger and a lot more fun. And it's not cold.
Nice.
Um, so that's the music
Right.
that you would hear during the festivities while Spike is doing his thing, trying to figure out what's happening and trying to hunt down the bad guy and all that stuff, whatever. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's like it's my favorite. It's my favorite track. But it's
Nice.
so much fun. I'm so happy. I am so happy, and it's got my creative juices flowing again. It's just I love it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely creative. That's creative
Hmm.
music right there.
For sure, it's stuff to put on.
Like I said, that's the music that has changed generation. Like generations. I'm sorry, let me put an S on that. This music has changed generations and inspired people to create some of the stuff that you just casually love today. But back then, this was like,
Mm.
whoa, this is possible. Like it was mind blowing. And it wasn't just the music; it was the combination of everything: animation, the characterization, the voice acting. It was just such a con, con, I don't even know what I want to call it. It was just the birth of beauty, and it's not that's not an overhyped statement because all those elements, like I said, the music, the animation, the voice acting, has created one of the most classic animes ever made, and it is just a testament. And like you said, Paulina's love for the music, the way I'm describing it, even in my cool ASMR voice today, it's a beautiful thing. And just celebrate. Go listen to the playlist. Let them numbers up. Get them spins going. And then when we set up our listening party, you guys are gonna know about it. All right. All right. Anything else you got to say about the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack?
Be inspired by it, honestly. Just share it. Just talk
Nice.
to your friends about it. Talk to us about it. Um, I'm just excited because literally,
Yeah. Good.
finally,
Good.
seriously, it's been years. I feel like,
Yeah. We need that excitement. Yeah. We need that excitement. That's good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. But yeah, and on to our next story. The 2020 Emmy nominations were just announced. And honestly, I would say I really don't care. And you know what? I kind of don't. But there's always a but. That's why we're bringing it up. A whole bunch of sci-fi comic book based properties got them
yeah.
nominations. And it's a twofold thing with this. First of all, it was dope.
Hmm.
That's one. It's dope stuff. The geek world is dope. All the stuff that you love, that you follow is geek stuff.
Period.
Okay? Period. So stop it. And two, it's finally these institutions in this certain country starting to finally realize, oh, for us to stay relevant, we actually gotta listen to the people. I wish our government would understand
Mm.
that. But anyway, this is one of the first time in a long time, for 2 years in a row, where the Emmys not only are putting the good stuff up there, or the stuff that is high quality stuff, but it's popular stuff that the people actually watch, except for Watchmen. Go watch Watchmen, people. Jeez, it was a great show. HBO, Watchmen. Um, and I think that's a testimony to the power of geekdom. Let's be honest. During this terrible time in the pandemic, all the stuff that has stayed strong or has held their heads up or has united people has been geek stuff. And to me, the reason I bring up the Emmys because the Emmys has proven that. The Emmys has proven that. The actresses, nominees, actors, the nominations, the supporting act, it's from geek stuff. It's from niche genre shows. It's from stuff on the Sci-Fi Network. It's these things that people tossed aside and wasn't popular, but it's like no, it's all everything that you like is based off of something that a geek helped create. And I just wanted to put that in there, like yo, but the Emmys is showing it. Like yes, it's time to stop. Yo, this is what the people watch. This is what the people want, and the people like this cool, geeky, niche stuff with good writing, good production, and good acting. So that's why I wanted to bring it up because I honestly don't care. I'm not going to watch the Emmys. I'm not. I'm gonna wait till the next day. They're gonna tell me who won. Hopefully, it be some Star Wars and the Watchmen win some awards. Other than that, I don't really
Right,
care.
because wasn't Regina King nominated?
Yes, I believe she
Good
was.
for her, because I know she won an Oscar last year.
Yeah, and like I said, she killed it in Watchmen. That show, man. It made me remember how why I loved the comic book so much. It was so many layers to everything. Nothing was one thing. And unfortunately, and I'm sorry to tell y'all this, watching that movie that came out, that was Flash.
Mm.
It was Flash. Yes, they followed the comic book and the comic book, and they tried to show the comic book later, but that movie didn't have any of it. It was superficial. It was until you get the full cut, the 3 hour cut. It was a superficial movie. It was, but the show, nah, from the opening scene of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the bombings, it's deep. It's never just one thing. So, yes, it deserves it. I'm sorry about that, guys. Hit my microphone. Hope you heard me. It deserves it, and it's just the Emmys, like I said, recognizing geek culture and that geek culture is culture. Your thoughts, P. Sorry, I was
you're fine.
rambling.
I just pretty much said everything that I thought about. I'm not gonna watch either because I stopped caring about award shows. Oh, I don't know how many years ago. Except the Golden Globes. I'm still mad I missed the Golden Globes with Ricky Gervais hosting.
Oh yeah, because
he
killed them.
He tore into Hollywood.
Yeah, he slaughtered them
tore
people.
into him.
Yeah, and they was drunk and had it.
It was great.
And that right, and honestly, and that brings me to our next topic. So I've talked about this before, my battle with my mental illness, my depression and stuff. And we've talked about that topic on our Initiative BTS podcast about Black mental health. And I got put onto an app called The Safe Place. I'm going to say it again real slow because there are a lot of apps that have the same name, but it's not the same thing. It's called The Safe Place. And it was created by this young Black woman whose name is in my notes. And again, I'm doing this on my phone, so I move my finger and the notes move and disappear. Hold on, let me go to her. By Jasmine Pierre. Wait, hold on.
Take your time.
Yes, Jasmine Pierre, who survived multiple suicide attempts, created this app, a Black safe space for mental health. And I'm telling you, it is super cool. It really is. There are inspirational African quotes. There is a place to contact people that you need to talk to who are Black. There's a hashtag how Black people feel, like just how Black people feel. Nothing else. It ain't got nothing to do with anybody else's political general. Just how do you feel? And it's classes and books. There is a help center to find these things and the books and things you need and resources. There is a poetry section. Use our words to create. And as a former writer, and one of these days we'll talk about why I say former sometimes, it's just really cool. It really is. And again, it's just a safe space. And with the suicide rates of people, with the stuff going on, the stuff that's happening to our young Black kids, we have 10-year-old kids committing suicide. Black kids, Black people need a place for us to talk about our issues without having to worry about somebody. What about everybody else? And I really want to commend her for creating this because it's a really great app, and it's on Android, it's on iPhone, and it's called The Safe Place. And you'll see it has a lot of colorful marks around it, almost like in oh my God, what is the kente cloth? Woo, man, a kente cloth. And it looks like that, and that's the app you want because, like I said, there are of course other apps who are trying to co-opt the name. So that's what you're looking for. I hope that didn't bring anybody down. I brought that up, like I said, because we need this during these times. Like I said, we need feel-good stories, and we need those things to show us that represent us. And I just thought it's a wonderful app. Like I said, I'm enjoying using it. I'm using it, guys. I'm enjoying using it, and join in if you think you need somebody to talk to or you have these issues. Yeah, that's about it on that. Okay. What's our next topic, P? Got my notes back. Never mind. The next topic. Oh boy, you shared this with the group. I'm gonna let you explain this one. I'm just gonna read the headline: Captain America's political pursuit.
Okay, so real quick about the mental health app before we continue on, though. No, it's
okay.
I'm
sorry.
No, you're
so
fine.
sorry.
You're fine. I actually just downloaded it as you were talking about it. Just
Nice.
to see what it's about. Because the thing is, with me, in terms of how I handle my illness, well, mental health, excuse me, um, is I don't use apps very much. I mean, it's not, not everybody has to use it. If it helps you guys, go ahead and use it. I'm not a big like, oh, I need this app to help me with this, blah blah blah. I used to, but then I just kind of fall off. And but I'm looking through it, and it's it offers advice. It offers descriptions of mental illness, which is pretty cool. It also gives like an assessment about what are you going through, like how do you feel, what do you think this is. Not exactly to self-diagnose, because that's, to be honest, that's actually pretty dangerous to do. But it gives you a better idea of what you may be going through and what you can do to at least handle it within your own power, within your own ability. And I appreciate something like this. I really do. They offer resources, like you said. They offer classes and informative articles. And there's, you can donate to the app if you really are impressed with this. Um, and, I mean, I feel like there's no pressure to be on this app either, which is great. Because I don't like the you use this app and it can help you with kind of false
Yeah,
guarantees.
there are no
Yes,
notifications. Yeah, there are no
it's right. It's
notifications
just
for this app.
there, which is awesome. Which that's sometimes the whole point. Like if you're in a position where you can't directly help somebody, but sometimes being there helps. Being there helps. So I like that. I really like that. So definitely get into it, guys. Share it with your friends. Talk about just mental health, because that's a thing that's been such a weird thing to avoid talking about, especially among black people. But now we're having more open conversations about it, and I'm really happy about it. So this is definitely a place to start if you really want to have that conversation. So moving on, I did post or shared, not on the main pages yet, but there is this thing that um, Chris Evans has started to do, and it's as the title, a Captain America's political pursuit. And what he's basically doing is using his platform and to bring in awareness of like political issues in a way that doesn't call for calling names and being angry at each other, or just having a space to get more information, have conversations with actual politicians, and learn more about the issues that plague our American society, and more information about you as an American citizen can do to either vote or spread awareness or just be more educated about different issues that are essentially deemed as political. And personally, okay, there's a lot I'm feeling about this. Can't say negatively, no, but not 100% positively either. I don't know where to
Mhm.
start. How to go?
Okay, well, you get this
Alright.
together. I'm gonna tell you where I'm
Alright.
gonna start. I honestly am getting really upset about that word political discourse
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a study of history and mostly Roman history, but I also studied American history. Do you know how much stuff got done when the founding fathers just in a room yelling at each other? They were yelling at each other and fighting, mad about you. That's stupid. You can't call anybody stupid. They called each other stupid in the most elegant ways possible. But then they sat down and be like, okay, I understand your passion, but let's figure it out. We are so busy sitting concerned about hurting each other's feelings. We don't get none done. We never get to the truth. We keep falling for lies because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So, I'm just going to say all lives matter. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
what? And that's the problem. That's the problem. A political discourse isn't about being polite to each other. It's about being honest. But you can't be honest if you're afraid of hurting somebody. And unfortunately to me, and like I said, it's to me, That's what this sounds like again. Just another place. So we got to make sure everyone's protected and their feelings are kept. That's not politics. Politics is ruthless. Politics is just like the battlefield. You play to win. You fight to win. But you're usually fighting for the betterment of, everybody. Unfortunately, our politics is only for the betterment of politicians. I don't know if what Chris Evans is trying to do is going to address that. Are you going to address the hypocrisy of this? Are these politicians going to be just some people that have been vetted so much that they only going to say the safest things that 80% of the country believes in? They're not going to do anything that might be actually 50-50. That's not how things get done. That's what I'm worried about. I commend them for it, but I'm worried it's gonna be some. I hate saying this, but it's gonna be some milk toast crap. It's just gonna be another thing to see. Ooh, look how we did this great thing, but didn't accomplish nothing. I'm over that stuff.
Nice. And the reason why I say nice is that's how I feel too. Because okay, I didn't really start following him on social media until literally like 2-3 weeks ago. But
Mhm.
I've always noticed whenever it pops up on my feed, somebody retweeting him or whatever, that he's always been vocal about politics. Always.
Mhm.
Especially since
Yeah.
he, picked up the mantle of Captain America. Um, so I know the passion is there. I know that I believe it because sometimes it's just with somebody in a different field of work. They feel passionate about something, and they want clarity, and they bring it in a way that others feel like they can relate to. Blah blah blah. And the smart thing about it was, yes, he is a celebrity with a lot of money and a lot of exposure. It's easier for him to build up something like this to get more off the ground in terms of how people get involved in politics, which is a good thing. Okay, I'll say that. There's a
Yeah.
collaborative effort.
Yeah.
He's trying to work with pretty much everyone involved, or at least many people involved, in a way that helps everyone else understand what the hell is going on. Because there is a lot going on politically, far too
Yeah.
much. So that's one thing. Great. He's always been about it. He's actually doing something about it. Great. Here's my issue. It's pretty much what you've expressed. And in my mind, it's like, okay, I know that there are people who don't have the platform to get attention for it, who have been doing this for years, who have been trying to bring this attention to, okay, there's so many issues going on, we need to find a way to categorize them and place them in a way that everybody can understand them, or at least have discussions about it. But most of the time, there hasn't been spaces for these people because they don't have the resources for that. Another problem
Yeah.
is, and I'm going to be straight about it, is okay, what about the issues that plague Black Americans? It seems to me that I caught a glimpse of the website, and
Mhm.
some of the topics do pertain to the issues of Black Americans, but I don't know how deep they go. I haven't been able to look at the website
Right.
yet to really, like, you know, go through whatever it is that's posted up there. Um, And I'm asking myself, okay, so will he further down collaborate with, let's say, like another with a black celebrity who's actually all about this too? That's another thing. Um, I feel like I feel like there's like a whole weird thing with like celebrities and politics, and
Yeah.
it's just complicated because taking a side step into representation in Hollywood, we always look at as a whole, we always look at our black celebrities as it's setting examples for us to gain exposure for our problems or whatever it is that we need to tell others to just not harm us, okay? And it doesn't always go through. You know, it's this weird expectation of a black celebrity to represent black people in America, and it's not always the case. And it creates this weird
Facts.
stress or this weird expectation and pressure on this black celebrity to be a model of whatever is plaguing the black community, and it doesn't always work because this is America. People do things for themselves. Not everybody does things for each other. Okay, that's just the sad. That's just sad. I mean, sad. Yeah, that's just the sad reality. That's just how this country functions. You can't always blame somebody for not taking the mantle. But then, sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like you have a black celebrity who is passionate about this, who does something like what Chris Evans is doing. But the difference is that I feel like it wouldn't gain as much traction because they're not as well known as he is.
And I think that's the twofold problem that the black
Hmm.
community has. We need the celebrities to put light on it, but we don't need them to lead
Right.
the cause. But then, of course, you have, racism, white supremacy, anti-black. Was like, oh no, no, this celebrity that you had given light, that's going to be your leader. So we're going to
Hmm.
destroy this leader, and now your cause is over. And that's the double-edged sword we
Yep.
got to deal with, because Chris Evans doing this, like the headline is provocative.
Hmm.
Captain America. I mean, it's Captain America, and it makes you look. It does, but then, like I said, but that's where my concern comes in. Like, I have no doubt Chris Evans wants to do the right thing. You might want to do the right thing. That doesn't mean you are
Hmm.
doing the right thing.
Like it could just be
There has to be
right
that
the
has
good
to be
intentions thing. Like you have good intentions, but
yeah.
the yeah
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm worried about. And
Hmm.
that's all I'm worried about, because it's like, okay, is this just gonna be another place for everybody to be all nice to each other, not actually get anything done, and sing kumbaya? Singing kumbaya has not fixed the world. We've been seeing it for
Exactly,
centuries.
and it's
So we
right,
gotta
and
stop
it's
doing
we
that stuff.
we really do, because I'm sick and tired of the whole kumbaya shit too. I really am.
Because because the thing is, I think that everybody says political discord is everybody's picking sides, everybody's picking sides. I think there's one thing that everybody can agree with: when we allow lies and stupidity to become valid.
Yes.
Like that, we have to respect somebody's opinion, even though it's based on lies and stupidity. We have to respect what somebody believes, even though it's based
Hmm.
on lies
And
and
we have to
stupidity, because we have
Oh,
to be
right. And we have to
nice.
be nice to the person who cannot back up their claims. You ask them, okay, where's your source? And then they froth at the mouth because you ask them where their source is. You know, like I got into it with
Uh-huh.
somebody on Vent, and they basically accused me of trying to support murderers. And I'm like, you're stupid. You didn't even give me. It took 13 comments for them to even give me the link to the website of whatever they were talking about.
Of course.
No,
So they didn't have
they
it. They
did.
had to
They
go
did.
look for it. They just pulling stuff
Thank
out
you.
their butt.
Oh yeah, and then they had the nerve to block me. I'm like, oh okay, oh
Of
good.
course.
I was petty. I
Yeah.
reported them. Anyways,
Good. Suspicion. Yeah.
but yeah, my question is, okay, if he has this platform open, and for discussion and stuff like that, I want the honesty too. I want the the straightforward, brutal. Like, since when have human lives become political? I want somebody to ask that question, and I want that question to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because since when have
Yeah.
lives
No censorship. No
exactly,
censorship.
literally, seriously, how the hell did a human lives, living, surviving, become political? Because something to debate about. Huh?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I want that to be addressed. If he really believes that this is at least a step forward to people understanding what the hell is going on, make clarity. I want somebody to ask that question, or I want that question to be addressed. And I don't want roses. I don't want stepping on, the fear of stepping on eggshells and crap. No, I want to hear the answer. I want to
Mhm.
know since when. I want the nitty gritty.
Hey, and I want to know who is sponsoring this website
Yeah,
too.
that's another one too. Unless
Yeah, because wherever that money's
well, I
coming from.
mean, it could be him. It could be him and his friend. It could be
Mm.
because look how much money he made. Yeah.
Yeah, you do make a
So
lot of
that
money.
that could it could be him and his friend putting their money into it, putting their money where their mouth is. But they could be sponsored too. Who knows? I want to look into that too. So I'm like giving this a this is why I posted this. I'm giving this a very strong side eye. Like I get it. If he's on the right path, like
Yeah,
okay, work with some black folk who feel just as passionate about this shit. If not,
yeah. And actually, black folk that actually care about stuff for black people and not what the
exactly.
Republicans and Democrats want. They actually care
Right.
about what black people want.
Exactly. And another thing, though, before we move on, that I noticed that people in the comment section of the YouTube page that I saw this on, people are like, yeah, Captain America for president, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, no. Y'all, shut up. Shut up. No.
And it's honestly, and it's twofold. And it's people just trolling
Yeah.
and having fun, being like, yo, yeah, it's Chris. And it's actually people who think that just because he's doing this one good thing and he's good enough to be a president of the United States of America. It's
Oh,
actually people
yeah.
who think
Oh,
that
yeah.
way. And I think that's
Absolutely.
really sad.
Especially with the whole
But
Kanye West thing. That's a whole other topic, though.
yeah, honestly, when people talk about that, that's not anybody believing Kanye should be president. That's just Kanye
Yeah.
believing he should be president.
It's sad.
That's just
sad.
Kanye. Yeah.
But
And again, that's because it's that celebrity culture thing. And like I said, it's a double-edged sword with
and
black
it's like,
people.
listen, like, okay, for Chris, I'm supportive of whatever it is, he's passionate about, because I can tell it really does come from a genuine place. If he is serious about this and he actually does want something to do with being in office, he needs to start at the fucking bottom. Oh, I will shit on him if he doesn't. I will shit on him everywhere, all over social media. I don't care, or not say anything, whatever. I have a choice. But I would shit on him. Like, no, dude, start from the bottom. Do grassroots shit. Go into office, volunteer, then become whatever, a representative, then work your way up. Work your way up. Work your way up.
If you really want to get into politics, that's anybody. That's for anybody. If you really want to get into politics, you got to start
trash bag orange thing in office. No, I don't want that. I don't want that, period. I want somebody who actually knows what the fuck they're doing. And yes, I don't want bullshit politicians either who are bought out by corporations. I don't want that either. But come on. Come fucking on. Fucking sick and tired of this. Celebrities. Like, I know we had Ronald Reagan. Okay. I know that. But I really need to look into what good he actually did. What good did he actually do as president?
Sounds like you got a whole bunch of homework on me. Whole bunch of homework. Well, to get us out of the political sphere, and before we start talking about our two main topics of the day, I want to give one last shout out to Heidi's and the State of Black Speculative Fiction. It's a new book coming out by Eugene Bacon and Milton Davis. The links are, now I want to make sure I say this right. No, the link is on our Facebook page at Afro Anime Initiative. It's a really cool book from two authors in the black sci-fi realm, and they just come together and they really talk about, like I just said, the state of it, what's going on, how you create it, how you doing it. So check that out. It's something that's on my list. Don't worry if I get it. We're gonna do reviews because it comes out October 2020 from Luna Press, and I know I owe y'all guys a bunch of book reviews. I'm gonna get to them, I promise, and it's just gonna be another one. All right. Cool. Anything else you got to add before we move on to our two main topics, P?
No. For now. Oh, I'm linking out hard. No, actually, no. I don't have anything.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you've noticed that we are, I don't want to say a heavy Netflix channel, but when we actually find something that we both want to sit down and review, it's usually off of Netflix. And Netflix has been making a lot of power moves. During the BLM movement, they've donated $100 million cash into black banks. That link was also on all our social media, across all our social medias. And people are like, oh, $100 million cash, they're worth blah, blah, blah billions. Yeah, but it's cash. If you understand economics, for a giant billion-dollar corporation to actually take cash and move it from one place to another, that's a lot of money. So they didn't stop just there. So out of nowhere, I believe this was, oh my God, I just lost the date. July 30th. Netflix announces over the next 3 weeks, 6 prominent. I want to say prominent because they were prominent to me. I don't know if they're prominent to you guys, but they're prominent to me. Black sitcoms are coming to Netflix. Some of them in their entirety, a couple of them just a few seasons because, licenses. I'm going to run down this list. And Pauline, I just want to tell me yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it? Okay.
Yep.
Moesha.
Yep.
The Parkers.
Sometimes.
The Game.
Yes.
Girlfriends.
Yep.
Half and Half.
Absolutely.
1-on-1. That's basically almost all of the UPN network. And then they threw us a curveball with this one from the WB network.
Yes.
Sister.
Yeah. All of it. All of it.
All of it. That every week we did this a long time ago. And I remember when we did a whole podcast covering Afrofuturism or black shows on the streaming services. And when we were talking about it, we got some criticisms. And people were saying, hey, okay, you talked about the streaming service and the sales, where to get them, what's fine. But did you really focus on the content on those streaming services? And we took that criticism to heart. That's why we haven't done a new one lately. But the thing is, it wasn't a lot. When you actually broke it down to the thousands of hours of content that these services had, it wasn't a lot of Black African-centric stuff on there back then. And this is that what we were just talking about before. Instead of symbolism and just being nice to each other, this is actual somebody doing something. Now you can say, well, Netflix isn't owned by black people. Most of those shows weren't owned by black people. They were owned by these giant corporations. True, but they were black-centric shows. They were black shows that show black people as just normal people. That's what representation means, guys. Representation is being that we're there as people. And for Netflix to make this move, because what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shows? And one of them was from another network, so they had to put the extra dough down for that? Because they basically bought up one library and they're like, no, we still want some more black stuff, and had to go spend some more money. That's actual getting something done. That's putting your money where your mouth is. And you could say Netflix is doing it for the black audience. Well, yeah, duh. That's not a bad thing. We are an important audience like every other audience. And we have to realize that that's where the power is, in owning these things, creating the infrastructure to share these things. And to me, this story is Netflix saying, hey, y'all, we got y'all back. Here's some cool black stuff that you grew up watching. And that should tell other black people and their children and their children's children, be like, okay, cool. Now we need to make some more cool black stuff for black people to watch and actually control it. That's the end of my rant. P, your thoughts on the Netflix acquisition of these lovely black sitcoms?
Finally, honestly. That's basically all I'm feeling like. Yeah. Finally. Because grew up watching these shows either in syndication or no, they have more than half of them were not in syndication at the time. I have my great memories with them, except for the game. I didn't really bother with the game that much.
Oh, and really quick note, this is only the first 3 seasons of the game because the other half is owned by, I want to say, BET.
But yeah, it's just the importance of many of these shows, especially I'm remembering Moesha, how there have been so many lessons about blackness and how one recognized their roots and who they were as not only as people but as a family. I was always hoping to see that show back on somewhere, not just in syndication on UPS, but UPN, sorry, UPN. But yeah, on Netflix or Hulu somewhere, So there's that, Then you had The Parkers, which was a fun show. You had Sister, and Girlfriends. Oh, I loved Girlfriends. Gosh, it was such an important show. Yeah. And you had Half and Half, and of course One-on-One. One-on-One was cute because it reminded me a lot of incredibly underrated because it reminded me a lot of my relationship with my dad. It was just the sweetest show, and other shows that I would really like to see on not just net or any recording, any streaming platform Family Matters. Oh,
The reboot was on Netflix, but no.
that's not.
Where did it go?
There's a reboot?
No,
Oh.
I didn't mean reboot. I mean, somebody had the
Oh, there was
reunion.
a
There was
reunion.
like a reunion thing, and I can't remember what it is. Oh God, now my brain is. Now I'm spazzing out. Now my brain is
No.
dying. Okay, hold on. Family Matters should have been ABC, right?
I think it was ABC.
If that's ABC, then that should be Disney, which means it should be on Disney
haven't
Plus.
heard
So what I'm
anything
gonna
about
do
that being
is
on Disney
access.
Plus, though.
I know that's what I'm doing. I'm finna access my friend's Disney Plus. I'm finna let this sucker load up real quick. I'm finna go to search, and I'm gonna tap that in.
Oh, there was another show. What was the other show? Shoot. I just had Good Times. I heard that they're doing a reboot of that, though. Not a reboot, but like a continuation.
Probably.
I don't know.
They try like every few
Oh,
years.
really?
Yeah, it never goes through because you can't replace Sherman Helmsley. Yeah, can't replace that man.
No, you can't.
Nothing on Disney Plus for Family
so
Matters.
I know they would have announced it if they were smart.
Yeah.
But yeah. I loved Family Matters.
I mean, yeah. You know these streaming services, except for so far, HBO Max got a terrible with advertising. Yeah, but no, all those shows, like I said, and that, we talked about this before too. And again, Netflix, this great again. Remember, people, I love this announcement. I'm going to be watching these shows, but it should be a lesson too. What's a black show? Is a black show with a cast of black actors with 3 out of 4 of the actors are black, or is a show that's actually owned by black people, by a black company? Because again, Netflix can grab all these shows if it wasn't owned by another company that was just like, okay, we're going to Netflix. Because let's be honest, quality TV. We still got to do that. I always forget we got to sit down and do a podcast about that streaming service. If quality TV got the rights to all these black shows, like I said, we all grown up generationally, have grown up on these sitcoms, it would get more traffic where it can show the African films and the more independent black films they have on that streaming service. But again, it's not black people that own these shows.
Because it wouldn't work because they know where the money is, nostalgia. So
right, yeah. And that's why I think that's what, again, I'm gonna repeat this so nobody thinks I'm down on this move. I love this move. I'm gonna probably watch half and half first, because when I started watching that show, I was just in and out, and it would pop on. Okay, then it wouldn't be on that time slot the next time I came looking for it. So now that half and half, I'm gonna try to finish the whole series or the whole show. But this should be a learning experience about control and giving your ideas away, or at least not having a semblance of control and ownership of it, where you get to make these decisions, where your stuff gets to be placed. I guarantee you, no creator or writer or black writer on these shows was told, hey, your show going to Netflix, all of it, and you may not get no money from it. You got to remember that stuff. Some of these contracts weren't built for streaming. Nobody knew this stuff was coming.
Nobody predicted this.
Nobody knew streaming services was coming like this. So we got it. Are these actors still going to get residuals? You know, it's not on TV. Are they going to get that cash? Are the writers, the creators, the ones who made the concept? Because remember, the girl, Jesus Christ, forgive me, the woman who created all these shows that connect from, what did she do? Moesha Parker's. She did Moesha Parker, Girlfriends, The Game, and there's a show in there I'm missing, I think. Like, she did all of those shows. I know she probably has a little bit of more influence because she basically created all those shows. But I don't think she owned any of them because she had to keep selling them to all different networks.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, that's something that we could look into. Or if anybody out there in the initiative community knows, please share that with us. But yeah, I just think it's a cool move, and it should be a lesson to be learned in it. That's all.
I'm just excited to see these shows.
I wish my mind could work like that. I can get excited about stuff. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that we'll probably talk about next week that I'm excited for, but I'm gonna go straight to
Right.
the business end of
That's
it.
fine.
I'm
We
gonna go
need
straight
a
to the
business
business end of
minded
it.
perspective for all of these things because it's important to know how will it impact us as a community, as a people, and what can we do to make sure that money goes into our pockets
Yeah,
and stays there.
right. Because again, and I think I've talked about this before in other podcasts, and I'm gonna talk about it again. We are going to do a podcast about K-pop. I mean, oh, we gonna get
Oh
into
yeah, we will.
it. that look, that might be something we have to put behind a paywall because
Oh, it's gonna
it's
get
gonna
hot
get violent with words.
with big words.
But okay, so yeah, Netflix. Look out for it over the next couple of weeks. After our recording of this podcast, those will be dropping like two a week, I think, and then one in what's after August, September. I think Sister comes in September. I'm not sure. All right. Now for our main headliner of the day. If you have been following this podcast, you know that we are anime fans. We love animation. We love art. We love color. We love music, and we love it all. And one anime that has stuck with us for almost since the beginning of this podcast has been Netflix's Castlevania. We've done live tweets, live watch alongs on our Instagram and on our Twitter feed. You can follow those at Afro Anime Initiative. That's the Instagram, right? Yeah. And you can follow us on Twitter at Afro_AI for the next time it comes around because season 3 should be coming soon if it wasn't for Warren Ellis being a piece of shit.
Season 4.
Yeah. But the reason season 3 has been stalled because they trying to let the bullshit of what he got accused of, and actually I believe some of it caught up on. They like, yo, let's just gotta die down because his name is attached all on it. I'm sorry. No,
season 4.
Season 4. They haven't done any promotion. The promotion for season 4 has been halted because they trying to. Yeah, season 3 is already out. We did a live stream and review of season 3 on our Instagram at Afro Anime Initiative and our Twitter at Afro
and our YouTube. We have a whole hour dedicated to it. Come on.
Oh yes, whole hour dedicated to it. Yeah, so it's been slowed down because of this. Pete, let the people know what's going on with Warren Ellis, Netflix, and Castlevania season 4.
So, in the comic book industry as a whole, there has been an entire slew of, I can't say accusations, but a lot of unsavory behavior from comic book creators coming to light as of recent, especially in the past.
Hashtag Comicsgate.
Oh, I forgot about that hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag Comicsgate.
But yeah, so it's been boiling beneath the surface for a long time, it seems like, and it just comes to light, and it just came to light this year, just past couple of months. Just Twitter has been set aflame with so many people coming, stepping up and saying, "Here's what happened with this comic book creator. This is what they did to me so many years ago. This, that, and the other." And so it's not just Warren Ellis, but because of the accounts coming up against him, mind you, I find it interesting how Netflix is not just Netflix, but the writers and other creators of the show are moving forward without him. Season 4 and beyond, because this ain't it, not anymore. And the thing is, I found it really, really interesting how when people, comic book creators or any creators of any medium, they gain enough support and power because of their talents or because of their creative input, they can get away with anything. They have people who bore witness to their unsavory behaviors and predatory behavior and just turn a blind eye to it, or just, let this person get away with it. And when these accusations come to light, when these issues come to light, I find it interesting how they don't, either they flat out deny it without proof, or they beat around the bush about it, or they don't address it at all. But never one, not a single one of them, never coming forward and saying, "You know what? I did do these things, and it was horrible of me to do them." I hurt so many people, blah 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 blah. No, you don't see a lot of that, if ever. So it's like, of course, because I know Warren Ellis, he denied all the accusations that were thrown against him, but it's like, well, I mean, if you're so used to people covering for you for so many years, mm,
Yeah, you still think
exactly,
you can
and
get
then
away
now
with it.
you're denying it, and it's like, that's not going to help because they're witnesses, and there are people who've been capping for you, who know that you've been doing this crap. So, and it sucks too because it's so interesting how this came up, because they were also talking, not exactly Castlevania, but the creator of Ren and Stimpy. Um, oof, yeah,
Mm.
not a fun human being, but a great mind. Well, I can't say a great mind in terms of the show. In terms of how the show,
Right. His
exactly, his creativity
creativity.
was
Yeah.
way up there. But him as a person, ugh. You also have Bryan Singer. Ooh, another one. So it's so interesting. It's interesting of a move how they're moving. Oh, Castlevania, it's moving forward without him. So I'm curious to know how the show will turn out now without his input. Will it be the same? Will it be better? Will it
Yeah.
deteriorate? Will they be able to keep a strong foundation? Because the show started off great,
Yeah.
fantastic even.
Super great.
Exactly.
3
So
strong
far,
seasons.
so good. Let's keep the momentum going. And I have faith that it's not just him that made the show great. It's so many other writers too. So many of the animators, the voice actors. So maybe it would be able to keep going without him. Maybe it'll still be good. Maybe it'll still, be
Yeah.
what we love so much about it. Hopefully they can stick together, and hopefully that with him being expelled, ooh, um, they can continue to keep closed ranks. Like, I feel like once somebody leaves a show, especially like a big name,
The
the
writer.
quote unquote main writer leaves,
Yeah.
the show tends to go
Yeah.
down. Tends to. And I'm asking myself, like, what is it that makes it go down? Is it because that one writer has too much power? Or what? What is it exactly? Maybe it'll be different here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
just motivation. Because if you have that one person who motivates everybody to do better and they go, well, maybe somebody else should step up. You know what I mean? Or as a
Yeah, like you said, this is close ranked in probably the
mhm,
best way possible. Okay, this dude who we thought was cool turned out to be evil. He might ruin us. No, we're gonna be good, stick
mhm.
together, and make stuff better. So that we could have that
And it
scenario
sounds
here.
it sounds like a good team. So I have my faith in them. Not too big, not too like, oh, they better do good. Like, okay, let's see what happens. Because I mean, 'cause I really want to know what happens
Yeah.
next. Yo, oh,
Right, and it's basically like adding more entry. It's not like we weren't excited about it before. It's not like we weren't going to do another live stream and tweet. We were going to do all that again. But now it's like, no, I really want to
right,
know what you're going to do
exactly.
now.
Like, what direction are you all going to take it now? Like, same direction? Because what's his name? What's his storyline? Saint Germain. I really want to know his storyline. And Isaac. I like.
Yeah,
Ooh, those two.
yeah. Got to know what's
Yes.
going on with Isaac.
And what is he doing? And Hector. mm, I'm curious. I'm actually
Yeah.
curious. I'm actually curious because it's like, oh, okay, so is he?
We know what Hector's
No.
doing. He ain't liking it, but we know what he's doing.
Okay, he ain't liking it.
But
Whatever.
yeah, so it's those things right there. You so silly. It's that type of stuff that you want to, and I think we probably need to do a whole podcast on this. Is separating the sorry about that, separating the artist from the arts.
Oh yeah.
But I keep telling people, but the art comes from that artist. If that art comes from a place of evil and abuse, even though it might be good art, a great song, a beautiful book, it
Yeah.
still comes from that. And you have to understand it. That doesn't mean you have to throw away the art, but you have to accept that. And I think that's going to be something that people are
Yeah.
going to have to deal with too, because that's going to be a thing. Like with the stuff that Ellis has been accused of, it's going to be people like, how can I watch scenes from early Castlevania shows if he wrote them, especially the way, some of the more raunchy stuff was written in season 3.
Yep.
That might stem from his abusive nature.
And
exactly.
So interesting you said that, because literally I was just I love creating playlists on Spotify. I love them. And I was just listening to one song. Like, was it "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way"? Favorite, absolutely favorite. Nice. And I remember how much I loved Mystical. Like, I loved his rapping style. It was just angry, aggressive. It was just funny to me, and it was fun to listen to with his other music, with his other stuff. But then I remembered learning that, he went out of the spotlight for 10 years because he went to prison. I didn't know for what, though. So I decided to do my research. It turns out he's a rapist. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Yep, seriously. Yep. Not even barely a year ago, he turned himself in again for, guess what? More rape. And I'm like, what the fuck? At least, why not drugs?
Because, dude, no, somebody noticed this. Somebody's like, yo, I ain't heard no mystical songs. No, the summer's here where I ain't heard no mystical tracks. And people's like, y'all really don't pay attention to nothing, do you? Like, y'all really don't pay attention to nothing. Because we want to overlook the bad and where good stuff can sometimes come from. We do, as human beings. It's just a natural thing. And some people just like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. I just want to hear the music. But listen to that music and look what he's done. There's a thing called correlation.
There's a heavy correlation. Yes, absolutely. And it's like, after I learned about what he did, it just turned me off so bad. I was just stuck in the middle. I was stuck. I was literally stuck because I'm just like, I love his music. But on the other hand, it's like, fuck, he's an evil man.
Right. And the thing is also in my brain, it's like, okay, so I'm finna listen to his rowdy songs about partying and stuff. Anytime I hear him start talking about a girl, I literally like, oh, no, I don't think I can listen to this. I really do. Like, I can be honest about this. Too, I've been bumping R. Kelly since I knew what music was. One of the first CDs I bought was R. Kelly CD. I listened to his love songs like, okay, you talking about a little kid. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That thought pops up.
Yep.
Like, it pops up. And you could be like, you don't know if he was inspired by a little kid. You absolutely right. I don't know that. But guess what? His action and behavior.
His record recording days, he's been like this. So it's like, the only thing I can enjoy from Mystical is literally his verse and "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way." It's like,
bruh. Or what's the song with all 5 of the anthem from No Limit? Bout It. Is it Bout It?
That in a minute. Whoa.
I know, right? But yeah, I can listen to that verse in there because that's literally just them talking about fighting and standing up for the label. That's fine. And that's what people don't get. And it's going to have to be the same thing with Castlevania. Like I said, this Castlevania has been a huge part of this podcast. And it's like, ugh, really? But it's also kind of good to know that even though it seemed that he did have a big hand in writing season 4, or at least he definitely was there for the template for the season 4, that they already like, but we out of it. After this, we clean.
That's the good thing about it. Like, okay, at least most season 4 is actually done. Was it done? It's actually done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. Just wait. Like I said, they just slowed down promotion and release it because his name is still everywhere. They don't want that on. They want people to enjoy Castlevania.
Yep. So, I mean, the good thing that they did was cut ties. Like, because most other places, if this shit comes to light and there's actual evidence, they don't. They just wait till it dies down and then they keep the person.
Until there's a conviction.
And they still keep the person. And it's like, what's the point?
Right. Because it's not like, again, it's when you get proof of something, you have to believe the proof. Like, yes, you should investigate things and, listen to women. But once there's proof, how can you justify keeping somebody around? So, again, not to bring it down, not to end the podcast on a note, I want to commend the writers and the producers and Netflix being like, nope, we're not dealing with this. You're done.
Yep.
It's over. And we will move forward with Castlevania. We will support Castlevania without Warren Ellis. So we're bringing this up to commend them and to say thank you, and we applaud you for this stance.
Which I'm happy for. Well, hopefully they stick to it, though. That's another thing. Stick to it. We good. Okay, good.
I think they will. I think they wouldn't release the statement. I really don't think, because Netflix, for the stuff that we always criticize them about, if they come out with a bold statement like this, like I said, with the moving the money for Black Lives Matters and putting them into black things, acquiring these black shows, exactly. Mm-hmm. They stick with it. Even with the stuff that they mess up, they stick to it.
That's what I do appreciate about Netflix, though. That is true. So, give your support to Netflix. Yes, half their stuff is mediocre, but I think they're getting better. So.
Oh yeah, and let's be honest, it's the pandemic. We need some mediocre stuff just to keep our attention. So don't stress about it.
Yeah,
don't stress about it.
Keep Netflix alive, please. Don't give Disney all your money.
Yeah. Keep Netflix alive till they fix Neon and Valley.
No, I'm just going to other sites for that shit.
All right, that's it. Okay. No, we're not gonna do that. All right, guys. Well, that's our podcast. Do let us know. What did you like? What did you want to talk about? Give us your feedback. And definitely chime in on the Netflix stuff, especially about acquiring black properties and, being like, hey, yo, we got y'all back. Come chill with Netflix. What do you guys feel about that? Man, well, that's it for me, Pete. Anything else from you?
Keep listening. Keep enjoying whatever content's out there. If there's, something that you guys want to talk about, let us know. Or just, listen into what we ramble about, what we're excited about. I'm so excited about the whole Cowboy Bebop thing. I'm going to listen to it or keep watching it once we get off. All right.
For sure. Like, comment, and subscribe, people.
Subscribe. Thanks a lot. Be safe out there, y'all.